Dr. Scott Gottlieb now, former FDA commissioner, board member of Pfizer and Illumina, CNBC contributor, and author of the new book, System Failure: Why COVID-19 Defeated Us and How We Can Beat the Next Pandemic. Dr. G, how concerned are you about adolescents and COVID?
Well, look, it's concerning. The trends on the hospitalizations and the data that CDC put out today or emphasized today. I think it's a reflection of the new, more contagious variants. We're seeing that these variants are more contagious across all age groups. So they're affecting adults more, but they're also affecting kids more. So you're seeing more kids contract symptomatic COVID and more kids get hospitalized as a consequence of that, particularly B.1.1.7, which has become the most prevalent strain here in the United States.
You know, New York State today said they're eliminating the indoor mask rule for schools and camps regardless of vaccination status. The big city is continuing the mask mandate. Who's doing it right?
Well, look, the guidance that they put out today said that they're strongly encouraging masks inside the schools, but they're not requiring them. I think they're trying to change the guidance to conform to the conditions that are going to be prevalent in the summertime. It's going to be hard to run summer camps inside those schools, which is where a lot of summer camps are run in New York City, and require masks indoors, but not in an outdoor setting. Prevalence is likely to be low this summer, so I think the risk will be substantially reduced. I still think that masks in indoor settings with unvaccinated kids, when you're dealing with a stuffy indoor environment where there's not good air filtration, is a prudent precaution to be taking at this point. But I can understand why New York City wants to make the accommodation, or New York State wants to make the accommodation to try to facilitate summer camps.
Yeah. So this morning on Squawk Box, you said something about restaurants and that the CIA and other intelligence agencies need to be the ones to find out the origins of COVID. What are the red flags for you?
Well, the red flags in terms of just SARS-CoV-2 right now is that the side of the ledger that would point in a direction that this came directly from animals, from a so-called zoonotic source, really hasn't budged since the outbreak first began. But the side of the ledger that would suggest that this could have come out of a lab has continued to expand. We have the circumstantial evidence of illnesses that have been reported in some people who worked in the Wuhan Institute of Virology, the lab that has been suggested could have been involved in doing research with this particular virus, that occurred in November at the very time that we now believe the virus first made its arrival into the setting in Wuhan. We have the fact that the Chinese government has withheld key information that can be exculpatory here, that really could point in the direction of a zoonotic source, particularly the blood results in the people who worked in that lab, as well as the source strains, the early strains, as well as information about some of the early infections. They have not made patient samples available from some of those early infections, which could help us discern where this originated from. And the fact that they've withheld really the key details that could be exculpatory, I think itself is a piece of information. Also, we've done an exhaustive search for the so-called animal source, the zoonotic source, and haven't found it. So there's been a lot more evidence that's come to light, circumstantial evidence, albeit, that suggests that this could have come out of a lab. So I think we need to have open minds about that potential. The one thing that we've looked at early on, the reason why a lot of virologists early on didn't feel that this could have been a lab source and was more likely to be a zoonotic source, is that when you look at the strain itself, all of the genetic diversity that's found in a strain could be found in nature. So it's plausible that this came out of nature, and that's probably the more likely scenario. But I think over time, the fact that we've discounted some of the theories around the zoonotic source, for example, the wet market, the so-called food market in Wuhan being the original source of this, and the fact that the Chinese government has withheld key evidence, and the fact that we now know that there have been some illnesses around that institute at the very time that this virus first made its arrival in Wuhan, I think all of that is suggestive and requires further investigation.
And they won't tell us what those illnesses were. You would think if somebody had flu or had some kind of cold, they'd release those details so we'd all shut up about it. They haven't done it, and that stinks. Dr. Gottlieb, enjoy the weekend. Thank you. Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.